we're live. What is going on, everybody? My name is Nikki Smokes. You are listening to Smoke Show, joined by my co-host Bobby. It's Victory fucking Monday. If your team's not 1-0, I can't relate to you, brother. I'm sorry. Happy Victory Monday to everyone except this guy who decided to put his grill back in his car and absolutely disintegrate everyone's cars in the parking lot. Look at this. Look at this. Bobby, could you imagine, right? Like you're at the game with your pops, you're at the game with your boys, whatever. You go into the stadium, you're hype as fuck. You're having a time of your life. The Dolphins are absolutely beating the shit out of the New England Patriots. You walk out of the stadium. Oh, my God, 1-0. Yo, our defense is lit. And then you pull out your keys. You're like, damn, where did we park? And you're holding down the alarm to hear where your car is, and just nothing's going off. So then you walk around the parking lot a couple times. You're like, I could have swore I parked here. And you come back and your car is fucking disintegrated. Dude. Absolutely disintegrated. What a rookie move, dude. You can't do that.
Unbelievable. First of all, Dolphins are the 1-0. We are undefeated. The season is off to a beautiful start. But, dude, the car, like, how does that happen? Like, I understand how it happens, I guess, but you are a complete moron, a complete idiot. I couldn't imagine. And if my golf clubs were in that car, I'd cry. I would actually cry. I've thought about this a million times, bro. You can steal my car. You can burn my car. You can do whatever you want. But if my golf clubs are in there, I'll cry. And if the Dolphins would – imagine if they lost and you had to come out to that. That would just be like, yo – burn me on fire too. I'm going down with my car. I'm going down with the team. At least it was a win. And you had at least that going for you. But, bro, your car getting set on fire. And what I didn't understand is, how did you not know? Because I texted you that, and you said, I didn't even know that happened. I texted our other boys, like, did it not smell like something was just on fucking fire? Was there not smoke? That's crazy to me.
Well, there's so many parking lots. Like, it could have been on the south side of the stadium, the east side of the stadium, west side of the stadium. And to me, for you to put your grill in the back of your seat, like, you had to be in a rush. You know, he probably looked down at his phone. He was like, oh, my God, like, the game starts in 10 minutes. Like, let me just fucking throw this in my car. Everyone was already going inside. And then next thing you know, there's 11 cars getting absolutely disintegrated. That guy's an absolute lick, but we're not going to let him kill Victory Monday, baby. If your team's not 1-0, I can't relate, brother. 1-0, it feels so good. We went out there. We dominated. Like we said, man, I expect to win that game. Did that win change my outlook on the season or the bar I have set for this team? Absolutely not, but we did what I expected us to do. We went out there. We controlled the game. We won by double digits, and we took care of business at home. The defense looked so good. And Kader Kohou, my gosh, we all owe McDaniel an apology. We're all like, yo, the depth at cornerback, it's shaky, man. It doesn't look good. And this kid goes out here basically with the, I don't want to say game saving, but a huge pass breakup on Hunter Henry. And then he goes out there. He's the one that forces the fumble on, I think it was like 2nd and 10 when the Patriots were driving. I mean, this kid was making plays everywhere. Noah Ibenagami, bro, you are gone, brother. I mean, Kader played so good that when Byron comes back, I want Kader on the field, bro. This kid played his ass off.
Dude, you couldn't have said any better. When I was watching the game in real time, I just kept thinking, like, yo, Kader Kohou is everywhere. He's everywhere. And then I watched it on film again today. He was everywhere. My eyes weren't lying to me. I saw it. This kid was out there balling, man. And like you said, that was one of our big question marks. Like, going into the season, what are you scared of? We want Tua to be better. We want the offensive line to be good. And we're worried about depth at defensive back. Well, Kader Kohou came to play. It was an unbelievable performance. I mean, I'm happy as hell. We got to win. Don't get me wrong. We're going to have to go over a few things here, and we're going to have to give our critiques because we got to be honest at times.
Right.
But, I mean, just that feeling of a win, to get to come on here and talk about a Victory Monday feels great. I don't know what it's going to feel like when we lose a game. I'll probably be not looking forward to the show all day. But, hey, we'll cross that line when and if we get to it. Right now, we're on top of the fucking world, baby. Kader Kohou is a monster. And you know who else is a monster? Brandon Jones. Kid played his dick
Great
off.
Game.
That fumble, that blitz timing, absolutely smacked Mac Jones. The picture that Krug just sent us of Mac Jones's face is the funniest picture I've ever seen. And then Who had odds on Melvin Ingram first to score? Because they cashed
Baller.
out big, bro. They cashed out big. Oh my God. What a scene just for that big
what a
man
fucking day.
So.
Orlando Hype says, was it more that the Patriots are not good?
Look at Mac.
He got fucking bullied. Orlando, here's my answer to that question. Here's my answer to that question, Orlando. I said before that the Patriots are not a good team. I expect us to dominate. I said we are a good team. We should go out there and win by double digits. Good teams should beat on bad teams. We did what we were supposed to do. Just like when Alabama plays Utah State. Did they beat them by 56, but were they supposed to? Absolutely. Were we supposed to go out there and defeat the New England Patriots and manhandle them like we did? Absolutely. Were there things that were sloppy on offense that could have been better? Sure. Me and Bobby, we're going to get into that later. Do I think the Patriots are a good team? No. But do I think the Dolphins are a good team and they won in a style that they should against an inferior team? Most definitely.
Good teams win games, bro. Sometimes it doesn't matter how you get there. I mean, the style points and the swag points are nice and blowing teams out are awesome. But at the end of the day, it counts all the same. So would I have liked to see the Dolphins beat the Patriots by a few more points that I think we left a little bit out there? I certainly did. But at the end of the day, when you get to go home with a 1 in the win column, there's not a ton more you can ask for. You can be critical and look to work on some stuff to look to because right now, what was happening is the Dolphins have expectations, right? Usually when the Dolphins win a game, no matter how it looks, you're not looking at the critiques. You're not looking to find stuff you could do better. Years past, it was Dolphins won, yay, happy, on to next week. Well, now we got expectations. Now we got a team. When we win, you go back and look and say, hey, there's a few things we could have done better. Hey, there's a few points we left out there. We weren't crisp in this area of the field. And now we're doing that, which is a sign of a winning, successful franchise. So that shit fires me up, man. Anytime you can have a win and then think back on it about stuff we did wrong, I give me more of those. Give me more of those. I'll take it all day.
I'll take it all day too. You know what I absolutely love though was Mike McDaniel. I mean, the play design is unbelievable. All the pre-snap motion, the formations, like the bunch packages. If he knows there's a mismatch with one of our tackles, he's loading up double tight ends. I mean, this guy's a genius. The things he's coming up with is unbelievable. And just like Tyreek Hill said, the absolute balls on this man for going for it on 4th and 7 on like the 45-yard line with 23 seconds left before halftime. That was something I've never seen before. I was thinking, look, we're going to go out there, try to get him to jump off sides, move up a free 5 yards, maybe do some type of handoff screenplay, take a field goal, go up 13-0 at halftime. And then I see this motherfucker too, like hike the ball. Like Connor Williams snaps the ball.
Crazy.
And I percolate. I'm like, oh my God, like we're running a play right now. And then next thing I know, Jalen Waddle's saying what's up to me in the end zone, just fucking waddling around. I'm looking at my dad. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like I was ready to go get a beer, like beat the line. And then I saw the ball snap and I'm like, he just called the fucking play on 4th and 7. And he took it to the crib. And that was the only offensive touchdown that we had all day. Now, I know me and you, we're going to talk about the offensive struggles. I still think we need to run the ball better. I'm Mike McDaniel, he's aware of that. I mean, plenty of people are aware of that. But just from the play design itself, it's something I've never seen before as a Dolphin fan.
I think it was 75% of plays had pre-snap motion, second in the NFL, and you could tell how impactful that is. There's times where Tyreek Hill goes in motion, and then they hug the ball, and he's already running, cuts it upfield, and he's already like a guy that fast getting a head start at you is just scary business. But I had the same thing as you with that 4th down, bro. Because when you're locked in on Sunday, you're drinking beers, you got to take a lot of pisses, bro. You got to pee. So 4th down or commercials is when you go get that in. I was getting ready to get to the bathroom, but then I was like, wait, are we kicking a field goal or punting? So like I kind of circled back in and I see Tua on the field. And I'm just thinking, holy shit, we're actually going for it. It pays off. And dude, Mike McDaniel, he's like the coolest guy ever with his fucking swaggy shoes, his Yeezys. He wore the Supreme Air Forces, whatever. He's a nerd at heart. And that's the part of him I love too. In his post-game press conference, he was like, yeah, We motioned Cedric, and we knew Waddle was going to get outside leverage. We had this play drawn up the whole time. And then he was talking about how when Waddle caught it, he wasn't surprised. We've been working on that. When Waddle caught it, he was thinking, take it to the cribbo. And I just love that shit, man, because he is such a football nerd and such a football genius that when he sees shit like that and then it comes to fruition, it's so fucking cool, dude. Because Adam Gase was supposed to be this like cool offensive-minded coach. We never saw shit like that from Adam Gase, dude. And we know
Not
Flores definitely we didn't see shit like that. So McDaniel has truly been a breath of fresh air. I'm sure we'll get to it, but the Gatorade at the end, that was cool as hell. Smoke got a new screensaver. I made him send it to me. Just fire. Let's watch this thing because it's.
Look at this. 4th and 7, 47-yard line, 24 seconds left. Now the Patriots don't have any timeouts. They don't have any timeouts, but I mean they'd only need 25 yards to get into field goal range. So you're gambling that, look, my defense will be able to hold them for 23, 22 seconds after this play's over if it's incomplete. And I think they're going to hold them, or you're gambling that, I'll give up 3 and we'll go into halftime up 10-3. And then you just fucking pull this out of the bag. I mean, just watch Waddle take off between these 3 guys. This is track star speed. Look at this.
Gone.
Split, dude. And that's the play we were waiting for all last year with Waddle. When is he going to break one? When is he going to break one? And, dude, that is exactly what we were looking for. Look at this, man. I mean, I'm going to pause it. These guys didn't even sniff him. Catch. 1, 2, 3. Watch Waddle's jets, bro. Watch him take off. Watch. Film.
It's not
Dude,
even
that's
close.
ridiculous.
It's not even
That
close.
is ridiculous. And he's not even the fastest guy on the team. And that's one thing I want to talk to you about, bro. Watching Tyreek Hill in person is ridiculous. That one-hand snag was asinine. And then there's that one play we threw him that bubble screen. He runs into Teron Armstead, bounces off him, and still gets around on the edge. He is ridiculous. And the fact that we have a guy like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle with Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds, who, by the way, when they were catching balls out of the backfield, dude, that was stupid. I mean, this team has playmakers, man. This offense could be really, really special. They just got to lock in, bro. They just got to lock in and gel.
Yeah, dude. And I mean, quickly on the running backs, like you said, Chase Edmonds, he might not have ran the ball very well. As a team, we didn't run the ball very well, but extremely effective out of the backfield catching passes. I think he had 4 for 40, and I think 2 or 3 of them were on third downs when we just needed to get a first down. He made a crazy play on one where he cut back inside on the sidelines and still got that first down. He was great, but yeah, the speed between Waddle and Tyreek, that's just the first time this year that we saw an intermediate pass over the middle go to the crib. I can guarantee you, and I'll bet my life, it happens at least 8 times this year. Eight times where we'll just find someone over the middle and they'll take it because they have that kind of speed. And that just goes to McDaniel's point. When these guys get the ball, they're not thinking get down, get the first down, do this. Give me that ball. I'm trying to take that bitch to the crib and get 6 because I am faster than you, much faster than you. Yep. And I don't care. It's a foot race. You're not going to catch me. It's just the speed is different gravy, bro. Never seen anything like this in my life.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But I think it's time for us to stir up the pot.
Yeah.
There's an elephant in the room. It hasn't been addressed. You guys already know who we're talking about. And like me and Bobby said, we're happy. It's Victory Monday, but we have expectations for this team. And we got to hold everyone accountable. And I'm going to start with the quarterback. I'm going to start with Tua Tagovailoa.
Have to.
Very mid performance. The stat sheet sounds good. 23, what was he? 23 for 33, 270 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's great by me. He had no fumbles. He had no interceptions. But he didn't pass that test for me. And what is that test? Ball security. He put one on the ground. We got lucky. It was a fumble in the red zone. That could have cost us points. And part of that year 3 jump, me and you, we've talked about this 100 times. I need better ball security. I need better decision making. Okay? I don't need him to throw the ball like Justin Herbert. That is never going to happen. That's another thing I learned. He will never be Justin Herbert, at least with his arm, because Herbert's arm is ridiculous. The throws he was making were absolutely insane. But I believe we could win with the best version of Tua. Now, he fumbled it, and thank God we recovered it. So he got bailed out there. And the first play of the game, I was going to destroy him, but then I found out that Judon tipped it because that Tyreek Hill was wide open. I mean, that was a first play touchdown. So anyway, I'll give him the pass there. It got tipped, but the fumble, unacceptable. He's got to work on his ball security. And then the second one, it was in the fourth quarter, and I'll pull it up right now. This one had my blood boiling because all I could think of is last year, week 1 against New England, where he's trying to throw the ball away, and it ends up being an interception. If it wasn't for Xavier Howard, we would have lost the game. So I'm going to pull it up. And these are just the things that I need to see improvement from Tua. Like, he should not be doing this year 3. He knows it. I know it. McDaniel knows it. He should not be doing this in year 3.
We've said it all year, man. We are going to hold Tua accountable and hope to get the absolute best version of him because that's the best thing for everybody else. So you have to do this. You have to hold him accountable. And this throw in the fourth quarter,
unacceptable.
It was unacceptable. It truly was unacceptable. I'm not gonna sit here and say Tua had a horrible game though. I thought it was average. It's what you come to expect with Tua. He makes some efficient throws over the middle of the field. I thought he was decent on third down. I'll have to look at the numbers. I thought he was decent on third down, but some of the dropping the ball, that fumble, I get the rusher had the lane off the edge, but he saw him. You see Tua look at him. You see Tua step up in the pocket, and then when you step up, that ball is either out or that ball's tucked away and you take the sack. You can't be in between because he was in between there trying to make a play and he dropped the ball. Can't have that.
And like you said, Tua didn't play bad, but he didn't play great. And these are things that he just has to eliminate. You just got to get rid. And they're really not that hard to fix. Like when you sit here and watch the tape, like you should know not to do these things. Like just watch this play. Here it is. You're going to try to do something special. Like, what are you doing? And look where this is. Look at this. 2 defenders. We got lucky that this guy right here broke it up. Or he didn't even catch it. Like, that's an interception.
It is.
That's an interception. We got bailed out on the fumble, and we got bailed out here on this interception. Like, those cannot happen. Those cannot happen in year 3. And it's not like
Jay.
Yeah, what's up, Jay? How we doing? Bro, but it's not like we're fucking sitting there and, you know, he's slinging it 40, 50 yards down the field and a safety's over there making a big play. Like, these are forced errors. It's not like these defenders made a great play on the ball. I mean, that was a layup. That was a freaking layup for an interception. And then the next one I wanted to show, I believe it was on the same drive. Maybe it was the next drive.
You talking about the one to Sherfield?
No, that was terrible.
That was bad. I didn't know if that's
like he's lucky. Like nothing was meant to happen on that play. It was the end of the game, but
yeah.
And then this one kills me. This one coming up, like this kills me, bro. We're gonna get screwed with an intentional grounding soon. I'm telling you because I don't know.
Yes.
He's got this habit of like he's getting sacked and he just wants to spike the ball in the floor. I don't get it. Like, dude, I don't like. What is that?
Sometimes the best play is to wave the white flag and take the sack, man. And he needs to learn that. Getting sacked obviously sucks. No one ever wants to get their quarterback sacked, but sometimes the sack is the best play you can make in that situation. He tries to play hero ball every once in a while, and I think that's what gets him in trouble because he'll hold onto that ball just an extra second, or he'll like clutch it and look to make this throw that's just not there. Sometimes it's okay to wave that white flag, like I said, and just admit the play's dead. Take your lumps and get it on the next one because he's capable of getting it on the next one. I think he needs to understand that. Every play is not going to be perfect. Take your L's, move on to the next one. Don't overcomplicate the L and take a massive one because that's what ruins the game for us.
And I want to make this very clear. If you take away the fumble, the pass that should have been intercepted, and the 2 bad sacks that he took, there was another one that I didn't show, but like he stepped up in the pocket, he saw Judon go, and then he brings the ball back. That might have been the fumble. I don't know. I might be tripping.
That was the fumble.
If you get rid of those 3 plays, I'm very happy with Tua's performance. Like I didn't think Tua played like dog shit. I just don't think he played great. And if you eliminate those three things with like how Tua is, in my eyes, that's a great game for Tua. You know, like he's not going to sit there and throw for 360 and 4 touchdowns. That's not him. We have a great defense. We have great weapons. He has the ability to put the ball in the right spot. We saw that multiple times. But for me, it's the stupid forced turnovers, and it's because he's trying to do too much. He's trying to be a superhero, and he needs to stop trying to be something that he's not.
I think that's
Jay, welcome to the party.
Hey, I just wanted to say I'm waiting for my bus just at school, but I would be remiss if I didn't show up on a Victory Monday show. Had to be here, had to come here and show up. I feel like the vibes are a little bit down as we go over to his bad plays. I will say I thought he just played average. To be honest with you, like, yes, he should have had the turnover. I think it was just a very average day. There was one throw, and I think we all know the throw that I'm talking about, the one where we thought Jonathan Jones held Tyreek Hill, which, by the way, was a penalty. If you're going to call the one on Xavier Howard, that one's a penalty. But the thing that worried me the most was he actually had time. And, dude, his mechanics on that throw were horrible. His feet were horizontal. Like, his feet were, like, perpendicular with each other. Like, I'm trying to describe it. But basically, like, he wasn't, like, standing like horizontal where he has one leg in front of the other. Both feet were in the same place. I was like, how are you throwing the ball like that? And it's not like he has some Justin Herbert arm where he can get around that and just use all arm strength. Like, he needs his mechanics to be on point. And that's kind of what worried me. And it brings me back to a point I made before on a different show where it's like he does have this PTSD of, like, the line not succeeding. Now, the line wasn't great at all today or yesterday. However, it's better now. So you have to use that time that you have. So that was really annoying for me to see just because if you're going to have issues with your arm strength, you can't have issues with your mechanics. That's just a non-negotiable. So I thought he played average, to be honest. I think it is what it is. 270 yards, 1 touchdown, like about like a 69% completion percentage. That's what you're going to expect, but you just want the game to be cleaner. The offensive process could have been cleaner. Honestly, we played great on defense, but I still just thought there were some issues there too. So it's kind of that, week 1 game where you kind of expect it to be a little bit more worse for wear. You're still getting into things, but I expect a much cleaner product next week against the Ravens.
Yeah, I agree. I sent out a tweet yesterday. I said, God bless our defense, but the offense needs to step up if we want to beat Buffalo. I still stand by that. And I think this team is built to compete. And I will always hold us to that bar. Those are the guys that we're chasing, and that's who we need to beat. And that offense that we had yesterday is not it. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer on Victory Monday. I am very, 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 very happy that we're 1-0. But like I said before, me and Bobby, we have expectations for this team. And I expected to beat the New England Patriots, and I expect this team to compete with Buffalo. If we want to do that, we have to clean these things up. And these are all things that are going to be talked about in the meetings on, I don't know if they watch film today or tomorrow, but McDaniel or whoever the hell Tua is watching film with, they're going to be like, yo, you can't do this. Like, this is year 3. Like, cut the bullshit out. Stop playing hero ball. Live to see another down. It is what it is. So I think the offense will clear it up. Obviously, it wasn't just Tua out there. And like I said, man, like I wasn't livid with his performance. I just want the best for him, and I hold him to a very high standard, as we all should. And I think he knows that. I think he'll get better. Like we said, it was week 1. He threw for 270, which is already better than what he was doing last year. Usually it was like 225 for 16 of 23 and a touchdown. But now he's up there at 270, almost hitting 300. So I like that. And I think as the offense gels more and the protection gets better, because the pass protection I thought was pretty good for the most part, especially compared to last year when you had Jesse Davis as a fucking left or right tackle. I don't even remember what he was. He was just really bad. He was the right tackle. But the offensive line played better compared to last year. Obviously, there's some things that they could tighten up. The run game, though, it was concerning for me. I think we had 65 rushing yards. We were averaging 2 yards a carry, which is abysmal. But I also had my concerns about the run game during the preseason. And then we went out there week 3 and we ran for 225 yards. The strength of that New England Patriots team is their D-line. Like, they're a defensive-minded team. And they went out there and they were competitive. They were good. I expected a little more from our offense. I mean, 2 yards per carry is never going to cut it. I do think it'll improve, though. But I'm not an offensive coordinator, so I can't really tell you exactly why certain things weren't working.
Right.
I just know 65 yards for the entire game is not enough.
Yeah, dude. And let's just get the bullshit out of the way, because we got the win. We started out hot. Let's get the bullshit out of the way, and then let's end on some positive notes. I agree with you. The run game was my number one takeaway, as that was a little concerning. We couldn't establish it on the ground. You already took my point away. The Patriots' strength of their team is their defensive line, so I figured that would be a tough matchup going in. I definitely want to see us get it going a little bit, because there was a few runs. I think Mostert at the end of the game kind of got it going. He had back-to-back runs of like 6, 7, 8 yards, and I could see flashes at time of us getting it going, but just those runs up the middle weren't there. Between the tackles, we did not look good. I will say I did like some of the creativity of some of the like end around type things, and we ran the one play where we had who was in the backfield? It might have been Cedric Wilson, like motioned out, and we like threw him.
Oh, on that dude, that was fire play call. That's like the play designing I was talking about.
Yeah,
I love
very
that,
cool
bro.
play. But the normal run game, it was not good. I do expect McDaniel. This is probably his number one concern as well, because he wants to run the fucking football. So I know he's thinking the same thing we are. I expect him to come out better next time on the ground. But of course, we will see. Some of my other concerns, just since we're kind of getting them all out on the table right now. Jalen Phillips, I almost called 911 and put a missing persons report out for him this morning. It wasn't great. I will cut him this little bit of slack that he was going against Trent Brown, who is a absolute bear at left tackle. So he's disgusting, but I would have liked to see a little more from Jalen. He didn't even have a pressure or a sack, or he had one tackle total. So a little bit more from Jalen would have been what I like to see. And then I had one more negative note: tackling. I counted multiple missed tackles, and some of them cost us, where we had a guy at the line of scrimmage or a couple of yards. All of a sudden, guy breaks a tackle, and he's 8 yards, getting a first down, whatever it was. So I think tackling wasn't great. I didn't think Jerome Baker had a great game. He's our middle linebacker. He should be swallowing this shit up and pause. He should be eating this shit up and just dominating as a linebacker, but he wasn't really there. So those were a couple of my concerns. Do I think they're fixable? Definitely. But from game one, those are some of the red flags I definitely took away from it.
I just dropped the link in the comments. If you guys want to holy shit, I was just so great. If you want to hop up on here, Major Pause, and talk Victory Monday with the boys, I just dropped the link in the comments. Come through. I got to stop saying come up here. It just sounds so sus. Just join the panel and talk Victory Monday with me and Bobby. I just dropped the link in the comments. Hit the link, get up here, and give us some smoke. But I do want to give Tua some flowers. I mean, he had a 70% completion percentage, 77.7 QBR. So there's a lot of good things. I just think he could get better. I think the offensive line could get better. There it is. Thank you. 8 for 10 on third down, 64 yards, 93.3. Thank you. Takes. I honestly dropped that link so you could hop up on here. I got to stop saying that.
Smoke is sus, bro.
I'm sus. But that's that. I'm glad he said that, because he was 8 for 10 on third down. And guess what the 2 plays were on third down that he didn't get?
I'm trying to think back. They ran the ball
fumble.
Twice? Oh no, we didn't.
The fumble
through it. The fumble,
obviously. and that sack throwaway thing that he did in the fourth quarter. Those were the only 2 third downs that he didn't get. He was 80% on third down. I love that.
Yeah,
absolutely love that. And I know not everyone is perfect, but you can't fumble inside the red zone, and you can't do whatever that sack throwaway thing was. You just can't do those things year 3. I think they're very easy to clean up. There's got to be like a switch that we can activate. That's like, yo, Tua, just don't do this. Like, just get rid of the ball, live to see another day. Stop trying to be a superhero. If he could get that out of his game, we're fine, because usually that stupid throw, that stupid turnover is always happening when he's trying to force something. Finn's Forever, welcome. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what up?
Hey, what's up, bro? Thanks for having me. Didn't think I was going to get on that quick. First of all, Smokes, you are a fucking riot. You're a treasure. You're a gem. Your passion is out of this world. I love it. I appreciate it. Even when I don't agree with you, I appreciate what you bring to the fan base, bro. Super, super respect. But I wanted to just mention and echo some of your concerns in terms of what we saw yesterday. I think it's absolutely fair to say that Tua's got to clean up like the unforced errors, that kind of stuff where it's just at the end, you're just making me nervous. Like the game's in control, like we're fine.
Yep.
And suddenly like you're fucking with the ball, like you're not taking care of it. And if there's one thing I expect QB1 to do is take care of the ball. So
Right.
when it gets a little bit, just negligent, just real careless with the football, to me, that's stuff that he just can't do at this point. But I think overall, I think he did play a good game. Some of his placement was real nice. Some of the outs, were somewhat, were pretty impressive. I thought obviously the strike to Jalen was on point. That's the kind of stuff that we're looking for from him to do more. It'd be nice if it was a little bit more explosive, the offense as a whole. But all your same points, Patriots D-line, they brought some pressure at times. They're not going to be every time. And I'm not sure where the ceiling is, but it's week one. The one thing that I think is a lingering concern for me is that Baker's just not a good middle linebacker. Like I don't know that gets fixed, like that's just who he is. You can scheme up a certain amount of stuff on offense, but there's very little you can do to hide when your middle linebacker is a liability. And I think that presents real challenges for us, especially against certain matchups. But otherwise, I agree with you guys. I think, it's fair to criticize. I like the fact that we have high expectations. I posted this on Twitter at one point that I said, I like the fact that at least we're here now. We're no longer arguing that, and no longer 100%. Pissed that we lost the game we should have won. Now we're just upset because we didn't win the game in the way we would have liked to win it. So,
Amen.
So those are my thoughts, and thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for coming on here. Appreciate you. Come on whenever.
Appreciate it.
You made a great point. Made a great point.
Very on point. And I just wanted to get back to the Tua thing. Like you said, giving him flowers. I think that we both talked, and there's three main things we wanted to see from Tua this year. We wanted to see him take care of the football, which, in this game, who knows? Number two, we wanted to see him be great in the red zone. This game, I don't think he got a ton of chances to be great in the red zone, to be completely fair to him. And three was be great and be efficient on third downs. And he absolutely did that this game. So at least we can check one of those things off our list there, that Tua was great on third downs this game, which you love to see. And that's going to be one of the major factors for him going forward. But takes. We got takes.
Look at that stash.
Unbelievable.
It's getting out of hand. Can you guys hear me well?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
We hear you.
All right, cool, I wanted to make sure I didn't talk through my laundry machine or something else connected to my fucking computer. How you guys doing? How's the first Victory Monday, Smoke?
It's Victory Monday,
show.
baby.
Bobby,
like we're good.
You're a sexy motherfucker, Bobby.
I know we're critiquing, but we're good, bro.
Oh, absolutely,
good,
bro.
Man.
It's what we do. It's week one. It's overreactions. It's nitpicking. It's all that's what makes this shit fun. Like you don't create a YouTube show or a podcast or whatever just to like fucking slang that hope all around. You do both. You nitpick. You get upset. You slang the hope. You do everything. That's what makes a show a show. You know what I mean? Game. So I mean, yeah, like I everything you guys said was pretty spot on. Like I have this sometimes when we do the show with Sorty. I agree with him on too much sometimes. And you guys, I agree with everything you guys said. Really, like, because the thing with Tua's hero ball, man, it's just he does it in such weird times, right? Like we were in a game, you're up 17-3, you're trying to put the game away, and this
national championship game. Remember, even at Georgia, like yes, before he saved the day, same thing.
Like I'm thinking, I was like, if you took out the scoreboard and you showed this clip to someone who had never seen like Tua play or didn't know anything about this game, they would be like, oh man, it must be the fourth quarter of week 18. They're trying to clinch a playoff spot. It's like, no, it's week one. It's the fourth quarter, clock's winding down, and Tua's just trying to like throw the ball around. Like that's crazy. What I'm like. I thought back and I was like, his first year, I think it was week 17 in Buffalo, when the game was just out of reach. So Tua just like he went and he just started fucking throwing the ball everywhere, picks off. And I almost had fun watching. I was like, I've never seen Tua get crazy like this before.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I was watching this week one. Like it's just weird timing on stuff. But overall, for outside of those, like I think Smoke referenced it, you both referenced it, like 3-4 boneheaded throws or decisions. He was playing point guard. He was putting the ball in Tyreek Hill's hands. It looked. And the way I kind of think about it is like the offense looked similar to last year's, but with Tyreek fucking Hill on the team. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like it's not Preston Williams catching the ball and trying to get yak. It's Tyreek Hill catching it and doing crazy shit. It's Cedric Wilson catching it and doing crazy shit. We finally got the Jalen Waddle fucking house call. A great 4th and 7 call by Mike McDaniel. Like it made all the sense in the world. And he sacked up and did it because Brian Flores would have punted it from the 20 to pin him at the 1 or some shit. But it was really good. Like Tua played point guard. He was just throwing darts and I don't want to say darts. I don't want to hype him up too much, but He was putting the ball in playmakers' hands. They were doing what was necessary. And the only person that can get in the way of the Dolphins winning games is Tua. You know, like he can't be doing those boneheaded things, right? Like put the ball in your $100 billion receiver's hands and let them do what they do. Like there was a span there. I think I said Smoke in you guys' video at one point, and it was he got like 50 yards on 3 plays in a row, and I think the depth of target was like a total of -1 yard on the 3 throws. Like it was behind the line of scrimmage, but like I'll live with that. Yeah, like I don't care. Like watching, like, oh no, Tyreek's getting 20 yards on the screen. I'm gonna kill myself. Like, no, dude,
did you watch the Bills game?
Yes.
Did you watch that Bills game?
Yeah, man.
2 yards, like, 3 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, and then they take you deep over the top.
Give it to me. All I've ever wanted. Like, it's a lot different, and a lot of people will knock him for it, right? My closet door just opened. Oh, it's my dog.
Yeah,
my dog just scared the shit
dog,
out of me.
That's kind of scary.
Yo, it's my dog. Your dog did the same shit to you right now.
My dog just did it. Yeah.
They're speaking telepathically. But yeah, man, I don't care. Like that's what this is. That's what I even said it on like the last like podcast episode I did where I said, dude, just be a point guard. Just put the ball in their hands and let them do what they got to do. And that's what like really matters to me. And he did it. So outside of the 3 decisions, I thought he played well.
I think us Dolphin fans, we need to understand who he is, right? Like we have to be okay with Tua being Tua. Like that throw that we all saw Justin Herbert make, that Dan Oflarski or however the hell you say his last name, you will never see Tua make that throw. Like that is not happening. It's not going to happen. But I mean, Tua is good enough that we could go out there and compete with some teams and win playoff games if he takes care of the football. Because we're always going to be in a position to win. You just can't have that bonehead turnover in the 3rd, 4th quarter where you're just like, how are you in the NFL? You know, like you have to have that awareness. You just have like that's the next step for them. Taking care of the football and just don't force anything that doesn't have to be forced. You don't have to be a Superman. Your superpower is your defense and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and all the weapons that you have. Play into that. I don't need you to try to be someone you're not. And it would be a disaster if I didn't give a shout out to our special teams. Our punter put 2 punts inside the 5-yard line. Jason Sanders banged 2 field goals. Our special teams were buzzing, man. They played an excellent game. Shout out to special teams. They're the reason why we won. They're them in the defense, to be honest with you. Sanders put the game away with that field goal.
You've heard McDaniels talk about special teams, bro. He knows how important that shit is. He was talking about it with the punt returners, but
complimentary football.
That encapsulates the whole team exactly. And Sanders, we need Sanders to get back to that money form. He showed it. Was it the first or the second that was like going towards that left upright? Because I was shitting my pants. That was the first one,
dude. I was shitting my
pants, and it just like because you never know with those kicks, man. It makes no sense how much the ball moves, but it gets up there and it kind of like knuckles around. And I was like, please stay inside, please stay inside, please stay inside.
Especially with how cursed kickers were all around the league yesterday. Like we had a doink in the Steelers game. Like it was that 1 p.m. slate when it was ending. I was just like, what a week 1. Like I felt like I was like elevating off the couch. I was like, I can't believe this is my life. I waited so long for this. The Marlins are gone. I don't have to pretend like I love them anymore. And I'm watching this. This is beautiful. I went to sleep last night and I felt like I wasn't touching my bed. I was floating. I was just like, oh, this is beautiful. It was wonderful. I love it.
It's a shame that primetime game sucked though, because everything else was so awesome.
It was so bad.
Like every game was so sick.
Takes, you were probably in the same boat as me where you were all 1 o'clock stressing the Dolphins, and somehow we played the fastest football game in the history of football games because we were done at like 3:30, and I'm up in front of my TV the whole time, can't sit still. Dolphins win. I go take a seat on the couch. All my buddies are like, Bobby, you got awfully quiet. I said, yeah, Dolphins won. I'm just watching the madness now, boys. I'm going to sit back and watch the madness. My boys handled business. That's the best feeling in the world.
It's this huge weight off my shoulder. Like the Dolphins won, right? And with like they put it away a little bit early, like with 2 minutes left, a minute left. It was never in doubt for me. I was like, all right, we got this. Like it's good. And then like I just
never in doubt.
Never in doubt. I said with like 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
When it was 17-7, my stomach started turning a little bit. I said, "Oh God, not again!" I was getting a little worried.
when he almost threw the pick,
Yes.
I had like the gif of the cat with the Vietnam flashbacks. Like I was like, oh my god, it's happening again. It's week 1 of last year. We're gonna need Xavier Howard to like have a strip fumble here or something. But that feeling of when the Dolphins win, and I check my fantasy, I check my bets, and I'm like, oh my god, all these games are coming down to the wire. My team won, and I don't have to get clowned on Twitter. I don't have to read what all the trolls say. I can just lock my phone and enjoy what's in front of me. Put on Red Zone, and you have Hanson snorting crack and screaming at you about 3 different games going on at once. Like beautiful. It was just like euphoric. Like I love it. It was.
It's funny you say that because
you just painted a picture in my head, bro. It almost brought a tear to my eye. That picture you just painted.
My list of priorities on NFL Sunday is the Dolphins, my bets, and then fantasy. So when the Dolphins win, I'm already up here. And then if the bets win, I'm already up here. And then if fantasy wins, dude, I'm on cloud 9. Like I'm creaming my jeans. Like it's ridiculous.
You have to have that, like a list of priorities, because by the end of Saturday night, like after college football's done and I start like looking at the card, I've put in so many bets and I have so many intersecting like fantasy football and bets where it's like I'll win a bet, but then it like fuck me over on fantasy, and then I'm like I can't care enough. Like I just have to have fun watching football. So at the end of the day, I have a rooting interest in almost every game, no matter what side it's on. And I'm like, oh damn, I lost here, but it's like, oh wait, I had like a player prop on this dude that just like stabbed me in the heart. So that's good. Like there's always a way to win on football Sundays.
It's also so funny how much more the Dolphins mean than like the bets and the fantasy. At least for me, like when the Dolphins are doing well and I'm betting bad or my fantasy team's doing bad, like I'm chilling. Like I might be a little upset in like at certain moments, but like my mood is so great. But when the Dolphins lose, I want to kill and break everything around me. And then the bets and the fantasy on top of that, it's a recipe for disaster. So as long as the boys keep taking care of us, dude, we'll have some good Sundays ahead of us.
If the Dolphins lose and I lose my bets, I'm on suicide watch. Like I'm contemplating my life. It's like, oh, I fucking hate the Dolphins. I hate football. I hate this. I hate that. And plus I'm hammered at the time. So like the emotions are just quadrupled times 100,000. And it's like, oh, but when we win, there's really nothing better than a Miami Dolphins win. But takes overall from your performance, not from your performance, from our performance.
What performance are we talking about, Smoke?
Do you think we can compete with Buffalo?
Buffalo, no, not the way we performed yesterday, brother. Not even close. I mean, I think I gave Tua like a C grade. I think I gave our offense in general like a C plus or something. I don't know. Like it's
C plus is bold.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, we barely touched the ball. I think we only had like 7 drives the whole game.
It won't cut it against Buffalo, man. Like our defense, I love our defense. It's really damn good. But we've seen it every time we've played Buffalo. It's like you can only contain them for so long, But and then Buffalo's offense is so good.
When we contain them and the offense isn't providing the support to keep them alive, like the Tennessee game and like Buffalo.
Give them some rest so they're not dead the whole game too.
We need to be able to run the ball better for sure. Because what Jay just referenced is true. Like the defense is just out on the field constantly because it's constant third and outs. So it's not just Tua. We didn't run the ball well, and if we're not running the ball well, we're going to be having third and outs. And if we're going to be having third and outs, our defense is going to be stroking out on the field. Like it all just circulates together. Like the way we played yesterday, exactly. The way we played yesterday, not good enough. Now, I love what McDaniel said. I just finished listening to his press conference, and he said, like, if we're on the right track, this will be the worst game we played all year. He said just like that, and I love that because what we saw yesterday isn't good enough to compete for the AFC or beat Buffalo, which is really, if you want to compete for the AFC, you're going to have to go through Buffalo.
And I want to add to what you just said. So his quote, just to add some context, he said we should be improving each and every single week. So our last game should always be the worst game that we're going to have all season, meaning each and every single week you should get better, and the last game you played should be your worst game because each game you're just going to keep elevating. And I've said this before. I expected us to beat the Patriots. So however we won, it's not changing the bar that I've set for this team. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I am not buying into any hype until we beat Buffalo. I'm not. Whether we beat them at home or on the road, we have to beat them one time. And if you want to be the man, you have to beat the man. And for this roster, for this team, it's not acceptable to not be able to compete with the big dog in your division. You need to go out there. You got to let them know, hey, I'm here. You want to trade jabs? You want to trade hooks? I'm down. I'm game for it. Let's do it. You just can't keep getting blown out by Buffalo every single time you play them. So I don't want to jump too far ahead. Obviously, next week we have a great matchup up against the Baltimore Ravens. I know we whooped their ass last year. They just lost Jawan James and I think, did you say Snead, Bobby? Fuller. Will Fuller. Oh, Fuller. Damn. No surprise there. He's probably finessing them on another freaking injury 401k. Pay me my money.
No,
deal.
not Will Fuller.
Not Will Fuller, brother. Kyle Fuller. You got the wrong Fuller. You have PTSD
got me all tripped up.
I don't blame you though. Will Fuller's probably hurt.
I'm just used to Fuller's. I'm used to Fuller's injuries and paychecks.
Yeah, he's in a ditch in New Mexico or something. He's not alive anymore. That's
my bad. I'm glad you caught that. I'm glad you caught that. Thank you. Anyway, that's gonna be a great matchup. It's gonna be a great test for us. I'm gonna save that for Wednesday/Friday to get into all that. But week 3, man, I think that's when we're gonna know what type of football team we have. When we play Buffalo, and if we beat them, bro, I'll buy my plane ticket to the Super Bowl right now.
If we beat Buffalo, Smoke is going to be insufferable. He's going to kill everybody that comes at him.
Oh, on Twitter, it's up. It's up, dude. Like I got Bills Mafia Twitter. Like I know exactly who I'm coming for. Like it's raps. He's got
a hit list of people he's tweeting at immediately. Once the clock hits 0, it's like fuck you. It's like a bunch of different people.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're already in the drafts too. He's just he's so prepared, they'll be ready.
I love what you're talking about, Smoke, because our schedule has a bunch of those type of games where it's like there's no way to sneak by this year and be like a middling team. Like we have games that like Buffalo obviously twice, San Francisco, the Packers, the Vikings look pretty damn good. You know, and we have a lot of the Chargers, the Bengals. Baltimore, we have a lot of games that are available for this team to prove itself. And like I saw someone today that had our schedule at 11-6, but basically losing all those games, like losing the hard ones. And I was like, don't get me wrong, man. 11-6 is 11-6, and I'd be happy. But if we're losing the 6 games to 6 playoff teams, that doesn't bode well for us. Like, on what we expect. Fraud. Yeah, like that's just kind of the way it goes. So you have to win those tough games on the road. You know, Buffalo, obviously, the Ravens are, I think I'm very high on the Ravens. And the Pats, I'm very low on them. I think they're bottom 5, booty cheeks, ass, everything, whatever you want to say about them. I do not like the Patriots at all. We are witnessing, every dynasty comes to an end. We are witnessing the dynasty coming to an end of the Patriots. It's not like a shocking thing. They had their time in the sun, but they suck now. Oh, absolutely. I'm reveling in every look. I have a bottle of whiskey somewhere around here, but I wasn't prepared. But pretend it's in my hand. But yeah, the Pats they're booty cheeks, brother, and I fully expect to whatever we beat them 20-3 or some shit this time. Or 20-10. I don't know. I completely forgot the score of the game.
20-7.
Double that shit next time. That's what I expect. Like, they are not a good football team. Like, go to Foxborough and do the same shit to them in the cold, blistering wind. I hope by then our run game is 10 times what it was yesterday. So I expect us to get better every week, and that's kind of where I'm at with this. I'm not putting too much into it.
If we want to win later in the season, we have to run the ball. Because I'm like
100%. A lot of games on the road in
25 degrees out and it's windy. That shit ain't working. Because he throws a nice, soft pillow ball. And I'm not knocking it. Like, it's accurate. It gets to the right place. But there's really not that much velo on it. And I'm sorry, because I was watching him yesterday, and it's not like I was like, oh my God, like the ball is zooming out of his hand. Like he looks like he's throwing laser out there. It kind of looked the same to me. Would you agree or disagree?
I agree.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would agree. It didn't, and I don't want to be overly critical. It just didn't seem like we saw a ton of the improvements that we were hoping for in terms of like, and I'm no freaking guru. I hear all these people, and people are much smarter and more qualified than me that will talk about his mechanics and this and that. Like, I don't have that. I can at least look and see and understand what I think looks right. But some of the times it just doesn't look right. It looks a little awkward. The ball doesn't come out as fast as you think it should. He's not throwing it as hard as you could. So I wanted to see some of those things get better. I don't know if that's me just being the dumb fan that's like, yeah, Tua's going to come back this offseason and just absolutely fucking sling it. But obviously that's not possible. So we got to control the controllables. I think there's stuff he can clean up. I don't think it was a terrible performance, but it just wasn't. I wanted more. It left meat on the bone for me is a good saying I think I would put. We got the win, but there was meat on the bone.
Sure. That meat on the bone phrase. It's funny because Blizzy texted me and he was like, today's phrase of the week is meat on the bone. because everyone I've seen on Twitter is saying is like he left a little meat on the bone, but it was still good enough. And I've seen that like 20 times.
But I hate.
Said that.
Look, I like what you said, but I hate that second phrase. Good enough. What the fuck does that mean? Good enough.
Good enough. Like, you should be winning a Super Bowl, right? Like if you're good. What's enough? What is enough? Define enough. Because enough for this team should be.
It's just how many times are you going to say that?
No, I know. I'm agreeing with
you can have that once in a blue moon, but like I don't want it to be week 18 and we've said good enough 15 times.
Definitely. And you know what? I think one of the major problems with Tua is when you talk about like Herbert and all these other guys, like Tua has to be better because he doesn't have the ability to come back and play fuck it ball. Like if Herbert goes down 10 points, you say, okay, it's Justin Herbert. He's going to get out there and absolutely sling it. I have no doubts in my mind they could score 2 touchdowns in 5 minutes. When it comes to Tua, you don't have that same luxury, man. So you got to be better throughout the game and limit those mistakes. And that's just kind of the reality of what it is, in my opinion. You got to get over that he's not Justin Herbert. He's not one of these guys. He is what he is. And if he can do what he can do, it's going to be good. We can win a Super Bowl with Tua. I believe that. I don't know if that's crazy, but I do believe that. His stuff to be cleaned up, other places to be cleaned up, but he can be good. But he just needs to get that. We need to get that full effect out of him because it's there somewhere.
I don't think you're crazy at all. I believe this team can win when Tua is at his best.
Yes.
But I just haven't seen that yet. And all I need from Tua, he's not perfect, right? Like you're good. Like quarterbacks throw interceptions. It happens. But the forced fumbles, like not being able to hold on to the football when you're taking a sack in the red zone, or the other 2 plays, the interception that should have never even been thrown. Well, it was dropped. It wasn't an interception. You got to just get rid of the bonehead plays. And we said that all last year. And if he does that, if he gets rid of that bonehead play bullshit, I do think we can win a Super Bowl with him. Because the talent that we have on this team, we've never had it before. Like you 100%. Have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. That right there is the fastest combo in the NFL. NFL teams would give their left nut to have a 1-2 punch like that. Raheem Mostert looked great. Chase Edmonds looked great. Offensive line, is it elite? No, but it looked good compared to last year. The defense, Brandon Jones looked amazing. Javon Holland looks amazing. Xavier Howard was locked down. They threw a bullshit flag on him, but it is what it is. Kader Kohu played a great game. Byron Jones hasn't even came back. Christian Wilkins had a good game. Emmanuel Ogbah had a good game. Sealer made some plays. The only one that was kind of MIA was Jalen Phillips. Like this roster, if they prove it to me week 3 and we go out there and compete and beat Buffalo, I am sold on this team to take that next step and win some playoff games this year because the talent's there. The talent's there. And if I'm going to be completely frank, the person I was least impressed with yesterday was the quarterback. And I'm just being honest. That's who I was least impressed with, was the quarterback. And he still played a good game. For Tua, he played a good game. But if he cleans up those 3 things, the sack, the fumble, the this, to that, dude, I would be more than happy with what we have with Tua because we could win with a guy like that. He's just got to clean up that stupid shit.
Nah, I agree. I think everyone agrees. I do think, though, for a win, maybe we might be spending a little bit too much time critiquing. So I do want to ask everyone a question, if that's all right. I want everyone to highlight one player that hasn't been talked about on this podcast or hasn't been talked about a lot and give them some flowers, give them some praise, shout a guy out. Who do you got? Because I got a guy in mind. And I'm just wondering if you guys have anyone you want to give a shout out to right now or just a great game. It didn't even have to be anything crazy. Just anything y'all saw.
I don't know if you've mentioned him already. Sorry, I have to apologize. I've been jumping in and out of the show, but the guy I am going to shout out, who he won't have any stats on the box score. No, I don't know if you guys have talked about him. Raekwon Davis. If you notice, when he was out of the game, the run game that the Patriots had was going. It was moving. However, when he was in the game, that's when we started stopping the run a little bit. So it's never going to show up as a nose tackle. It's never going to show up in the box score. Him taking up blockers. That's never going to show up on the box score or anything. You'll never really kind of understand it or see it like firsthand. You have to watch it back a couple times. But shout out Raekwon Davis, man. I thought that when he was on the field, he really helped the run. And honestly, in the first half, they were running all over us, dude. They were running all over us.
Yeah, they were.
That was a big part of their offense. So I'll give it to Raekwon Davis, man. As a guy no one's really talking about, or at least I don't think you guys have talked about on the show. And I think he had a great game. Again, no stats on the box score or anything like that, but I thought he had an impactful game.
Jason Sanders, 2 for 2, big time field goals, helped put the game away. It was 17-7. My heart was pumping a little bit. He goes out there, he drains the kick. I'm at ease. Shout out Jason Sanders. Shout out the whole special teams. Shout out the whole special teams. They played their ass off. They helped us with the field position battle. We hit all of our field goals. We made our kicks. And when you're playing complimentary football with all three phases, I'm happy. So shout out to special teams. Shout out Jason Sanders.
Just to add on to that point, shout out Justin Bethel. He's the guy who caught the ball on the punt to pin them down deep. I didn't realize we had him till later at the end of the offseason. He's a good special teamer, and that's why he's on the active roster, and that's why he's playing yesterday. So shout out to him to race down there and grab that punt.
I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds is one of my favorite players on this team. And obviously when you have Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Gesicki, if he's not like blackballed, like Chase Edmonds is legit out of the backfield.
Gesicki is blackballed. Like Smythe is tight end 1.
Whoa, it's almost like
played more snaps.
That.
He played more snaps. Smythe played more snaps by a lot. I think he played 13 more snaps.
Yep.
Yeah, I have.
It makes sense.
100%. No, 100%.
But yeah, Chase Edmonds, dude, like that guy is so freaking twitchy. And like, obviously when you have Tyreek Hill, how can anyone look as athletic next to Tyreek Hill? And Chase Edmonds does in my eyes. Like out of the backfield, the run game, again, it's going to get better. We're going to open more holes, no like, pause, whatever. But we're going to run the ball better as time goes on. But Chase Edmonds catching out of the backfield is such a sight to behold. Like he really. And Raheem Mostert had one catch, and that one catch was super impressive because I thought he was going to get his back broken or knee dislocated like Willis McGahee or something, and he just shed the tackle and got 16 yards and pushed for like an extra 5. So I love what we have receiving-wise out of the backfield. I'd love to see the offense and running backs get in sync and start gashing teams on offense.
Do you guys think we've been overly negative today? I don't think we've been that bad.
I'll be honest, that's the vibes that I got while I was here. That's why I had to come in and say, hey, it's Victory Monday, baby.
Hey, we hold them to a high standard.
On that point, sorry, go ahead, Takes.
I just think we have a really freaking good roster, and I think we're capable of blowing teams like the Patriots out. But again, week 1, new system, everyone's getting used to it. You saw some like throws where it was like Tyreek was waiting for it. That shit that's just gonna get ironed out over time. That's chemistry. That's the way this is. It's sports. If you ever played team sports, you know how chemistry works. Like it's silly little things that'll, as time goes on, they'll get better. They'll look more fluent within the offense. And again, if I know we sound negative, but we're just gonna get better as time goes on. That's I know that.
And I think we're being objective, because look, it's Victory Monday. I woke up happy. Bobby's happy. Take's happy. You're happy. We're all happy. Like I'm very, very happy that the Dolphins are 1-0. Like you'll never see me complaining. Well, I mean, I guess I'm complaining. I'm being objective, but we're 1-0. So at the end of the day, I'm happy. Life is good. But like Takes was saying, man, like I could come up here on Monday. Do you want me to be like, we're going to the Super Bowl. This is the best team we've ever had. Like we beat the Patriots 20-7. The offense scored 1 touchdown. We're the best team ever. We're better than Josh Allen. I mean, Tua looked like MVP. No one could touch us. We're going to beat the Ravens by 35. I mean, we're just the best team in the NFL. No one's this good. I mean, this is some serious shit right here. Like, I've never seen an offense play so good. Until I see that, I'm not going to sit up here and just blow smoke up my listeners' ass. If you want someone constantly positive and just lying and bullshitting to your face, by all means, there's 1,000 people on Twitter that'll give you exactly what you want. But I'm not going to get on my knees and just suck off this team until I see us start beating those teams that we should fucking beat. Because this team, the roster is there. The roster is there. And we have high expectations for this team. And I'm holding them to that standard. We haven't won a playoff game in 22 years. This is the best roster we've had in 22 years. I expected to beat the New England Patriots. I'm not going to sit here and say, it's Victory Monday. This team's winning the Super Bowl because we beat on the fucking Pats. Like, I expected to fuck up the Patriots.
Now, I'm with you, Smoke. I'm with you 100%. I don't think we've done anything wrong, man. You got to give your critiques. You got to give your criticisms, your opinions, what can be better, all that. I just think sometimes we have to realize where this franchise has been and where we are now. Because there's been years where we won 1 fucking game, dude. We've been at the depths of hell where I don't even want to watch a Dolphins game. Thank God I wasn't on the Dolphins show then, because I definitely wouldn't have wanted to talk about them. But you need to point out the critiques. But I think we need to also be a little more happy. I think we could use a little bit more happy, a little bit more positive vibes. The Dolphins are 1-0. We're doing the show with a smile on our face instead of a frown. It's fucking great. So sometimes you got to go smell the roses a little bit. Be a little happy about how that win came. But I think everything we've said on this show has been very valid. I just wanted to get across the point that, like, man, we're 1-0. We are the Miami Dolphins. We're 1-0. We did exactly what we needed to in the first game, and the season is off to a cracking start. Constructive criticism. Perfect word. Perfect way to put it. But fuck, man, am I happy to be 1-0.
Yep.
Oh,
We waited.
the
offseason is always long and grueling and torturous, and all the headlines and all the banter and all the talking and the shit talking. And we waited way too long to be mad about 1-0. And we made it through week 1. We're 1-0. We live to see another week, to fight all our rivals, to banter on Twitter. I live for this shit. It's why all of us do this. So at the end of the day, make no mistake, the Dolphins are 1-0. We're all very happy about that shit. But I got to get going, buddies. I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I'd love to come on again. Smoke, Jay, Bobby, you guys are the best. The show is great.
Man takes.
Guys.
Appreciate you, bro. Love you, bro.
Really quickly, to that point, I actually made a tweet that shout out to Bobby. He interacted with as well. We have a lot of constructive criticisms. Tua was average. The offense was not where we expected it. The defense was great, but I still thought there was a lot of times where if Xavier doesn't get that pick on the first drive, there's a lot of things that could have been improved on. Dude, Nick Needham on the outside looked real rough. I would move him back to the slot just because he doesn't have the speed. But what I will say is, with the C- performance on the whole, taking everything into it, we still beat a Bill Belichick-led team by 13 points. And in the NFL, it's obviously not 40-10 or anything like that, but that's as close to a blowout as you can get. When last year the Jags are beating the Bills, like it's not a blowout, but we still beat a Bill Belichick-led team by 13 points in week 1 with a new head coach, new system. So I'm not trying to just blow up smoke up their asses. That's not what I'm trying to do. But you still have to be content with the fact that we just beat a team coached by one of, if not the greatest coaches of all time.
Amen.
With our head coach.
Actually, no, fuck that. No, I'm checking you on that. Nah, Bill Belichick, not him. Without Tom Brady, he's got a losing record. Nah, overrated.
That's why I said one of, if not. That's why I said one of.
That's why I said one of, if not.
Fuck
but still, we beat them by 13 points.
Bitch.
That is a W.
Bitch.
That is a W.
Offense played like shit, and we whooped them by 13.
That's what I'm saying. That's a big W, baby.
Tua, honestly, best record in the league versus Bill Belichick.
4-0 against the Pats.
Yeah, with John Elway, baby. Same as John Elway. And that's the thing. I'll take that, dude. Honestly, and I'm not saying obviously I would love a perfect performance, but if this is one of the worst performances we're going to get, dude, we are on a good path. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Again, as our head coach's first time actually calling plays, being a head coach. So let's see what happens here, man. If this is going to be one of our worst games and we're beating the Patriots by 13 points and our defense is playing like that, who knows what we're off for? We're going to be beating the shit out of the Lions, the Bears, and bring on the Chargers. Bring on everyone else who has to come. So let's see, man. Obviously, I still want to see a lot more, like Nikki said, to be like, okay, let's get right into it. We're up there with the Bills. I haven't seen that yet. But if we do, man, we're on the right path. So I just think, trust in this team. I trust Mike McDaniel. Let's ride, baby.
Amen.
We talked about Xavier Howard enough on this show, by the way, because he
best corner in the NFL. He's the best corner in the NFL.
Good.
I'm gonna make a video about that. It's gonna go crazy too because that's a great title.
Bullied
I will
Devontae
break
Parker,
down everything, and this is a great time to do it after Jalen Ramsey just got fucking cooked by Stephon Diggs, who's by the way another great receiver too.
I mean, come on, dude. Like we're comparing Stephon Diggs to Devontae Parker. I mean, I expect Xavier Howard to bully him, but I love X. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm not taking any flowers away from him.
That's not the direct comparison I'm making, but still, X is not getting burned like that.
I think X is on Jalen's level. Like,
I think X is top 2 and he's top 2 now. Because I was always saying, okay, listen, if you want to have Jalen Ramsey ahead of him, by all means. But here's what I'll say: if Jalen Ramsey isn't the best corner, number 25 in Miami is, baby.
And Mac tried his ass twice, bro. One time they called the most egregious penalty I've ever seen in my entire life, where all Xavier Howard did was put his hand on his back to just feel where he was to get like positioning. That was not a flag. And I know the NFL comes down with their like crackdown rules every year that they try and really enforce. So the refs are like begging to call illegal contact. But that was the most garbage call of all time. But if you just watch the play, Mac threw it up to Devontae Parker on Xavier Howard. No fucking life on that. And then you go back to the first drive. Mac tries to throw it up one-on-one, Devontae Parker, Xavier Howard. What happens? Pass breakup. Javon right there to grab that thing, bro. Like Xavier Howard is taking your best receiver He's putting him on an island and he's shutting his ass down. And Javon Holland, another name. He is him, bro. He is him.
So
you see who has he's the sure-handed guy on the team too. We figured that out.
Yep.
Whenever it was a tight punt where we just wanted to get a fair catch, Javon Holland's out there. He's grabbing picks. This kid is phenomenal. Xavier Howard is phenomenal. All of a sudden you got Cater Coho, phenomenal. All of a sudden you got Byron Jones coming back from the pup, like crazy,
Yo, Noah was inactive.
Yeah, dude.
Noah was inactive, dude. He's done. He's a B-U-S-T, and you could stamp that, bro, because it's official. And I know it's been official for a while, but inactive week 1 with Byron Jones not playing. They didn't even put you on special teams. You didn't even make it to play special teams, brother. Done. Busted. Yeah.
I think a lot of us on the show, like as people who talk to the fans and all that stuff, we always say we want to be very picky and specific when we use the word bust, just because obviously it can be overused a lot, I think, in sports and sports fandom and sports analytics. But like Nikki just said, I think this is one of the few and rare cases where it's real, man. You're inactive as a first-round pick. Listen, he's young, whatever. Dude, you're
with
inactive.
An injury to the guy ahead of you.
Yeah, with no injuries. And dude, listen, respects to Cater Coho. I love him. The fact that he's on the team and playing as well as he is. The fact that UDFA, Elijah Campbell, 27-year-old who's been fighting for his life to get on our roster, finally does is ahead of you. Dude, that is not good. You're a first-round pick, which speaks a lot to our former coach's kind of draft analysis. But the fact that he's not even active, that's a bad sign. And I'll be honest, I don't think he makes it to year 4 of his contract the way this is going. And just to speak on to something that Takes was mentioning earlier, dude, I got killed for talking about Mike Gesicki, that he might get traded and that he might not fit into this team. And look what happened. That's all I'm going to say. Look what happened.
Fun fact, we had 5 different people play tackle yesterday.
Yeah.
All 5 players on the offensive line, except Connor Williams, played tackle yesterday.
That's a little scary. Are the boys all right?
Happens again.
By the way, dude, he was putting guys on an island and just locking them up. Matt Judon didn't do anything against Ron Armstead.
I think he gave up 1 sack. Judon blew past him 1 time. That was it. But Judon's a hell of a player.
Yeah, I thought he was
a hell of a player. Yeah, he did. But I mean, it went right past Armstead. But other than that, Armstead is phenomenal. Like,
if you want to watch greatness at the offense,
and AJ wasn't that bad. AJ was not that bad. Unless, I watched it live and then I only watched it condensed, so I can't really sit there and break it down until I have like the coach's film. But based off what you guys saw on TV and if you've rewatched the game, I thought AJ played pretty solid at right tackle.
When he was there, yeah, I thought when he was playing, he was there. And like I was just gonna say, if you want to go back and just watch what the offensive lineman should look like, just watch Ron Armstead, dude. He's always perpendicular with his player. He's always just in front of him. Nothing gets past this guy. And just to talk about AJ. When he was in the game, he looked great. I think you go back, you put Ron Armstead there, you put Austin Jackson at right tackle. Honestly, I thought the inside of the line was worse than the tackles, which I haven't said in a long time. Other than when we put Liam Eichenberg at tackle, that was, I don't even know what that was because he looked horrible. But
that's because what's his name got hurt.
Yeah, of course, Ron Armstead got hurt. But on the interior, dude, I can't believe I'm saying
we lost like 3 tackles got hurt.
That's
why they
Ron
bumped
Armstead,
Liam out there.
Greg Little, and then Robert Jones came in and played tackle.
AJ limped off a little bit too.
AJ limped off. Like, we had so many injuries, but I was just going to say, I can't believe that in the first game, I had more troubles with the interior of the offensive line. Connor Williams had some high snaps. As a run blocker, he was good. As a pass blocker, he was not good at all. Robert Hunt, who I think we all can agree is very, very good, he didn't have his best game. Then Liam Eichenberg, I don't know what to say about him, to be honest with you. He's kind of struggling out there. But the fact that, we have a poor offensive line against performance, we beat the Patriots by 13, I think we can be happy with that. I'm not going to say I'm overjoyed.
I am happy with the win. I want everyone to know I'm happy with the win. Bobby's happy with the win. Jay's happy with the win. We're just talking about the things that we want to see improve.
High expectations, baby, because this team has the roster to deserve. By the way, you have to deserve high expectations. You don't just get gifted high expectations. This roster, the way it's been constructed, deserves high expectations. So that's why we have them. So we are happy, but let's get it, baby. Let's get it, man. You have to be able to win these games. You have to win the games you're supposed to win, which we did. You have to dominate, which I thought we did. Just got to get the offense going a little bit. If the offense scores 2 more touchdowns or 1 more touchdown even,
bro, dude, even if we would have scored on that last drive of the game, if Sherfield would have scored on that last drive, we would have won by 20. I would have been jumping up and down. Oh, my God, 27-7. We got a Bills fan.
Whoa. Well, hey, Mickey Smokes, how you doing?
What's going on? Welcome to the panel, brother.
Congratulations on the win yesterday.
I'll take it. 1-0. I'll take it.
1-0 in division, 1-0 in the conference. Can't beat that.
Nope.
Where's the catch here, Mark? I'm waiting for it.
Not a catch. Just congratulating on the win and everything, and been listening to the comments. So, a lot of anti-Tua commentary. I don't really understand it. I mean, the guy goes out and throws for 277 yards and doesn't generate a turnover, although there were some turnover potential plays. So I don't know what the complaining is all about.
Right. And look, here's the thing, though. Potential turnover plays. So if the fumble is recovered or if the Patriots catch that, that's 2 turnovers, and that's more turnovers than touchdowns. And us Dolphin fans, now I don't know if you're undercover right now. Maybe you're a Dolphins fan and you're just giving me shit or something. I don't know. But this has been his problem, is like the unforced turnovers and plays like that. Even when we play you guys all the time, there's always like that 1 or 2 plays just like, why is this happening? So it's not that we're being negative or nitpicking. Like, these are just things that we want to see improve from our quarterback. Like, you're a Bills fan. The first 2 years with Josh Allen, you probably wanted to rip the hair out of your head. Like, come on, be more accurate. Like you see the potential. You know he could be great, but he's got to take that next step, and you want to see that. And then year 3 came, and it's like all of a sudden Josh Allen's accurate. He's got this cannon. He's doing this. He's doing that. That's where we are. Like, I'm happy with Tua's performance, but I just know it's not the best version of Tua. Like, I know he could be better. And as a Dolphins fan, as someone who loves this team and someone who talks about this team, it's my duty to be objective. Like, if Tua goes out there and he plays perfect, I'm going to give him more roses than anything. I love the guy. I buy all his shirts. I got all his shit. Like, I support him, but I'm also going to, be objective and hold him to a certain standard, because I believe if that kid is at his best, then we could compete with you guys in the AFC East. But until I see that from him, it's just not going to work.
Nikki, I think we have to define what is his best. I mean, I still look at the Dolphins. I look at them as having not quite a complete rebuild. There is issues with the offensive line. They again came out yesterday. Run blocking was pretty poor on the majority of the plays. The pass protection was leaky. Let's say that, and the depth is questionable. So I don't know what people can expect from Tua. There's a difference between adding shiny new weapons versus adding. I mean, what's better, having a shiny weapon, or is it better to have 5 really, really solid offensive linemen to let a young quarterback come to fruition? Josh Allen, through his first 2 years, the first year Josh Allen had, his offensive line was god awful. The second year, the Bills made some additions. They added a John Brown, a Cole Beasley, and they added some pieces to their offensive line. The third year, they added Stephon Diggs, kind of like what the Dolphins did with adding a Tyreek Hill, but added more to the offensive line, like the Dolphins tried to do. But where my issue is, and I happen to like the Dolphins. I'm a huge Bills fan, of course, because I was brought up there. But I've always liked the Dolphins. I actually been liking the Dolphins since the Super Bowl year. I'm 64 years old, so I watched the 72 and 73 championships. I watched.
Do not listen to this man. This man is so double-sided. I'm not even falling for your crap no more, Mark. First place, baby. Can you say first place? Or you can you put a negative spin on that? Say it again.
What I'm saying is the rebuild's incomplete. You still needed another guard to be able to move Connor Williams.
Yeah, but
off.
not for today, my friend. First place. Say it again.
Okay, Cap for life. First place. Enjoy your day.
Thank you, sir.
I'm trying to actually help you.
I'm interested, Mark. I'm interested. I think you were spitting.
Yeah, Mark was spitting, dude. The offensive line's so important. You saw what they did for the Browns. The Browns brought back the same roster that year. They finally made the playoffs. They just added a bunch of offensive linemen. So I think you do have to build through the trenches. But I think it's, I do think we should add a couple offensive linemen. You build through the trenches. But obviously, we've taken a different thing. And you saw what adding weapons could do to a team like the Bengals, right? So I do think it's good to add some offensive linemen. But I also think we're in a good spot.
So I think on a comparably important point, after week 1, players can sign free agents because you're no longer tied to paying for the full contract year. So I want to see if the Dolphins maybe add a Darrell Williams or some other offensive line to be able to improve the nature of the depth.
Mark, I'd like to give you a compliment, sir. I'm from Rochester, New York, right near Buffalo, so I know a lot of Bills fans. I have to interact with these guys all the time. You are one of the more reasonable, just kind of level-headed Bills fans I've spoken with. So for that, I can appreciate you. My guard is still up, though, because I'm waiting for you to just, like, shit on us in some way because I know Bills fans. But as long as you keep this act up, Mark, you're good in my book. Good guy. Good Bills fan.
Same thing for me. Up in Toronto, there's a lot of Bills fans, right? So same thing for me.
Well, you can be a fan and you can be objective, and you can be a fan and you can be a jerk. I look at the situation as it stands. I mean, there's nobody.
Why can't you be all three?
The Jets and the Patriots are just god awful and horrendous. So you got to figure that the Bills and Dolphins are going to go 4-0 against that. Sorry excuse for competition, and the division is going to come down to the two games, the one in 2 weeks and the one later in the season. And which, by the way, I'm just trying to be fair here. I think from a scheduling standpoint, the Bills got the real breaks on the schedule. They have the most rest of any team in the NFL, the most days off, and why the NFL would seem to put the Dolphins on West Coast, fly back
and then straight to
Buffalo. I really wonder what that was all about.
Yeah, you know why. We discussed this, Mark. You know why.
Well, tell me why, Cap.
Oh, so we're playing the amnesia card. You know damn well the NFL just said, hey, since we can't screw you, Stephen Ross, on the side, we're going to screw you in the middle, in between, in all phases so the whole world can see how pretty much we got caught with our hand in a cookie jar. Do you remember that conversation?
I remember the conversation, but I don't. They already took away 2 draft choices for something that 31 other teams do. It not as blatantly,
of course.
But yeah, you lost 2 draft choices for being blatant, and other teams tell me the 31 other teams don't do the same thing. So, I'm not buying into the fact you should have lost 2 draft choices for it.
Yeah, but 3 games back to back, like that's uncommon to hear, guys. Like 3 games back to back on a West Coast swing during November, like close to December.
No, that's the thing. So it's back to back Cali games, and then they send us to Buffalo, a place that we haven't won in since I couldn't tell you how long. I think 2017 was the last time we won in Buffalo.
And the worst part about it is for you guys,
that doesn't make you raise your
game
eyebrow.
to Saturday because it's going to be a game for the playoff positioning. So you go West Coast, you go San Francisco, Los Angeles, back to Miami to practice, and then up to frozen Buffalo, and then have the game move from a Sunday to a Saturday. That's ridiculous.
Oh, they moved it to Saturday already?
Oh, they
already did that?
They will. By the time it comes down to it, they'll flex that game to a Saturday because it'll be a game.
Right. I mean, like depending on how it goes in Cali, God willing, everything goes to plan and everyone's healthy. I think we'll be battling for that first place spot, especially if we win week 3 in Miami. Now, again, I'm not a Dolphins fan that's going to sit here and say, when the schedule comes out, I don't just put W on Buffalo. Until I see it happen, you guys are our measuring stick, and until I'll buy into the hype for real once I see us beat Buffalo. Because until we beat you guys, until we beat the man, it's just all false hope for me. You saw what happened with the Patriots last year, right? They make the playoffs. They beat you in Buffalo when they threw the ball 3 times. Then the playoff game happens and they lose by 50. I don't want to be that team. I want to take over the division because I believe we have the talent to do so. But until I see us beat them, I'm not just going to sit here and chalk that up as a free win.
I think what has to happen is you have to become a national team for the NFL. I mean, you look at what the Bills have in the schedule. They get a Thursday night game, then they get a Monday night game, then they get a bye week, and then they host a Sunday night game, and it's just all there's. If the Dolphins go 12-5, 11-6, win the wild card round, lose a close competitive game in the divisional round, then
great year.
Maybe you're getting 4 primetime games.
Yep. Well, if we do that, that's a successful season. Then next year I'll be talking Super Bowl. If we win a wild card game and have a close divisional game and we lose by a game-winning field goal, I am pounding on the table to win the Super Bowl next year.
Dude, see, you're falling for his crap. I don't understand how you guys can think that we can't really, at this point in time in the game, compete with the level of being at first. We're at first right now. All we have to do is just obtain it.
We were at first last year, and then we lost the next 7 games. We got to be realistic. The Patriots are a bad team. I expected to whip their ass. I expect to beat the Patriots. That's a bad football team. That's a bad football. We should beat them.
5-win team, in my opinion.
We should beat them, Cap. And we beat them last year. We were 1-0. And the Bills lost week 1 to Pittsburgh last year. We were in first place in the AFC East after week 1 and lost the next 7 games. I'm not falling for it.
We got to beat Baltimore, bro. We got to beat Baltimore, bro. I want to go into that Buffalo game.
Week by week by week, brick by brick by brick. I expected to beat the Patriots. I think we have the talent enough to beat Baltimore. And if we beat Buffalo, I will be bought in to everything. If we beat Buffalo week 3 and we're 3-0, damn right, motherfucker, Cap, I will come on this show and I will tell every person I know that the Dolphins are going to the Super Bowl. But until I see that, like if Buffalo comes into our house and we lose by double digits, what's the difference? What's the difference? That we got a couple new shiny pieces? What's the difference?
I just want to hear that we're not afraid of winning the AFC East. People are afraid to say we can't win the AFC East.
I'm not afraid. But I want to see it happen
until we beat the man. You can't say it confidently. That's just not how that works.
Like it's there for the taking, but you got to win. You can't lose. And there's no moral victory either, because I hate that word, moral victory. If we can't beat them at our own house, like what do you think is going to happen on the West Coast trip, and then we go straight into Buffalo? And if we lose to them twice, then who are we? Who are we really?
Buffalo ain't seen Smoke beat Bobby and Jay, though. I'll say that. If we end up going, they ain't seen that.
Facts.
Anyway,
that's why I have concerns. Like I said, that's why I have concerns with the rebuild not being fully complete. I don't understand why they didn't go after another center, because if you have Connor Williams at guard, you can have Eichenberg as depth, and you have another.
What
center.
happened to Dieter?
I don't know if he fit. I don't know if he necessarily fits the scheme. I kind of like the center that you signed for the practice squad.
No, but I'm saying, but what happened to him yesterday? Did he not?
Mark knows ball.
What's that?
Was he inactive yesterday also? Because I didn't even see him play.
No, I think Dieter played yesterday.
I don't know if Dieter played. I know there was
Dieter wasn't inactive, but he didn't play. He didn't play, but he wasn't inactive. Like you just kind of.
Yeah, he was dressed. I think Dieter might have been the only lineman on our depth chart that didn't play.
Because after Jackson went out, Little came in and Little got dinged up, and they had to bring in Jones, and then Armstead had to come back in. I know he was limping a little bit, but I understand he's fine. Does anybody have like an injury report on Jackson or Little?
Not yet. Little's good to go, but I think the only guy we're waiting on is Austin Jackson.
Yeah, but that center concern is a big concern now more than ever. That is true.
Mark, do you know all this information about all these teams, or are you a closet Dolphins fan?
No, I follow the NFL. I'm one of those NFL Sunday ticket guys with three big TVs in my family room, and I watch all the games at once, or watch all the games. I particularly watch the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Patriots, obviously because of the AFC East. But I'm an AFC guy because I was born in 60 or 57, and I started going to Bills games when I was like 7 years old. So I follow the NFL pretty thoroughly, and I kind of look at rosters, look at talent, look at where things are. And like yesterday, I could see the Packers going to get beat because both of their tackles were hurt, and Rodgers looked like absolute dirt. And
he looked like he didn't want to play anymore.
Well, he's making $50 million, so I got to be.
He did.
Right.
He had that look like, what the hell am I doing here right now?
But now, I think the Dolphins have depth pieces that they could move. I mean, Gesicki's a tradable commodity, I think. Bridgewater, I think, is a tradable commodity. Yep. And if I'm San Francisco, I can be looking at that situation. Or Dallas. My God, Dallas is just a train wreck without Romo.
Yep.
I just found out
Dak got someplace for the Dolphins.
Hey, they need a quarterback right now. Teddy,
Dak is hurt? I just found out he's hurt?
Pardon?
Yeah, Dak's done. He's got to get
Dak's gone for 6 to 8 weeks.
Which is basically the season for them. Like, their roster's so bad without Dak Prescott, they might be 0-8 by the time he comes back.
You know what I thought was interesting last night? They had CeeDee Lamb had 11 targets and 2 catches for 29 yards.
Oh, brutal.
You're telling me
that made me look bad, too. I thought he was the fantasy guy.
Ugh. Bro, I got freaking auto-drafted fucking CeeDee Lamb, bro, in the 3rd round, and
my fantasy went crazy, bro. I put up 164 and half PPR. I was hyped.
That's a lot.
Hey, guys, what about a trade? What about working a trade with San Francisco to move Teddy's contract and one of the running backs like a Gaskin or an Ahmed, because Elijah Mitchell's out for 2 months.
Right. I think that's right up our alley, though. I think that's right up our alley. I could see us shipping either Gaskin or Ahmed with obviously Teddy Bridgewater, and maybe for a depth piece
because Kittle's hurt.
He is? Kittle got hurt?
Yeah, Kittle didn't play yesterday.
See, that's the thing. When I go to the games, I miss so much. Like that's why I have to go back tomorrow and watch all.
Yeah, he didn't play yesterday. He was inactive.
Groin injury.
Yeah, I'm just out of the loop.
So you can. Let's say you move Gesicki, you move Gaskin, because I think he's the more viable commodity, and you move Bridgewater. All of a sudden, you're moving $17 million worth of cap space off. Be able to, and you can bring back a usable piece or two.
Right.
That's true.
I feel like that's on Chris Greer. I think he'll get that done. I think he should get that done. I mean, there's no reason for us to carry 3 quarterbacks. I'd rather, like you said, we clear up all that cap space and we could get a depth piece. And we've talked about that all the time. I said, like, this team needs more depth on the offensive line.
Or go to Chicago and go get Trevin Jenkins for Gesicki. That's a deal that's there. Be had.
You think they would give up a starting tackle for Mike Gesicki?
He's a backup.
How many targets for Gesicki?
Oh, he doesn't even start for them? Because I know they drafted him pretty high. Oh, the young kid, right?
He's not playing. He doesn't want to be in Chicago. You know, you can move Gesicki, because Gesicki's really a wide receiver. Let's be honest about it. He's not a tight end. But the Bears are so bereft of. I mean, what do the Bears have a wide receiver outside of
Darnell Mooney? It's literally
Darnell Mooney. I mean, what do they have?
Brown and Nikhil Harry, Velus Jones.
Yep.
Well, Harry is a
tight end though.
Cole Kmet.
Velus Jones is injured. They were playing They were starting Dante Pettis of all things yesterday. I mean, yeah, there are like I said, you could make the Dolphins could have the ability to make some moves. They have flexible pieces that they could move, and they could get some of the players that they need to fill the holes. Now you're competitive, and you have and you've got more viable.
Did we even target Gesicki yesterday?
I think
I don't remember. I don't see Gesicki playing yesterday. I don't even remember him being anything.
42% of snaps, 1 target, 1 catch, 1 yard. So that tells you all you should know pretty much right there.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Joey C, we're taking the Seahawks +7 tonight. Seahawks +7. That's the pick.
Interesting. I kind of feel the Broncos are going to curb stomp them. What about you? Now, did anybody take a look at Dallas's lack of wide receiver depth? I mean, they had CeeDee Lamb, and they got guys. I follow the NFL, and I don't even know who the hell.
Yeah, Jalen Tolbert is like their slot receiver. They were going to use like Pollard in the slot a little bit. Like it's not great.
I mean, it's ugly. I mean, the Dolphins have wide receiver depth. They got wide receiver depth on the practice squad.
Yeah, it's facts. And boys, I would love to stay and chat ball all day with you. My computer's on 1% and it's gonna die, so I just gotta let you guys know I'm probably gotta dip out here in a second. But it's been an unbelievable show. In 1-0, 1-0 is all I gotta say. I'll end it on that.
Yep.
Peace and love.
I was gonna wrap it up anyway. We're at an hour and a half.
Greg Mance is on the Bills practice squad. You can snag him.
We had him last year too.
I think it might not be a bad idea because he can play center. That would allow you to move Connor Williams to guard. Just saying.
There's some moves to be made. Mark, Cap for life, thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're a well-rounded Bills fan. I hope you come back. Check it out. Cap, I appreciate you. Jay, thank you very much as always. Shout out to everyone in the chat. You guys absolutely killed it today. If you haven't already, hit the like button. I know it's kind of late. Hit the subscribe button. We are trying to hit 2,000. We just broke 1,000. Thank you guys so much. I love all you guys. Happy Victory Monday. We'll see you guys on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Fins up.